I'm Megan, and this is Yoga for Small Spaces, a class series for people who don't have a lot of room to work in but want to get a good yoga class in. I will be teaching from my studio apartment. Today's class is all about connecting to our warrior strength, and it's going to take about 40 minutes to complete, so let's get started. Okay, so to begin, we're going to start at the top of our mat. We're just going to stand in a nice, strong mountain pose. So what that looks like, you're gonna feel the connections of the soles of your feet to the earth. Your hips are over your ankles, your shoulders are over your hips, and you're lifting up through the sternum, standing nice and tall. In this pose, we're just gonna take a moment to focus in on our breathing. Maybe you wanna bring the hands to the belly, and just feel the rise and fall with each inhale, not trying to change anything, just noticing what's already going on. Noticing where you're at today, noticing what you brought to the mat, and accepting yourself where you are. Now we're gonna try and take a nice deep full breath, filling up the belly like a balloon, expanding in all directions, and exhaling completely, getting all of the air out of our lungs so that we can start fresh. Nice big inhale. Exhale, contracting. One more breath together. Inhaling, filling up. And exhale, releasing. We're going to introduce some gentle movement. We're going to start with some head circles over to the right, being gentle with our bodies. And let's take it to the left. Nice, gentle circles. Just starting to introduce a full range of movement. We're going to exhale the head back to center. We're going to move down to the shoulders, taking big circles to the back. Exploring how it feels to move the body this way. Being aware of our posture, being aware of our breath still. And we're going to go to the front. Big shoulder circles. Seeing how much movement we can get. Just doing what feels good for you. Okay, we're gonna take a nice big inhale. We're gonna lift the arms up like this. If you have room to go straight out in front of you, that's awesome. Or you can lift straight up overhead. Exhale, we're gonna mount down to the mat. We're gonna bend the knees, plant the hands, and step back, dropping the knees onto the mat, coming into a tabletop position. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can roll the back of the mat up to give a little extra padding on the kneecaps. Or if you have a blanket or something you want to use. So we're going to do a little bit of breath and movement here. So we're going to inhale, dropping the pelvis, dropping the belly down, opening up the chest, and looking up to the sky, big cow pose. And then we're going to exhale, we're going to tuck the chin into the chest. We're going to contract in through the belly button, tuck the pelvis under. Nice big arch into a cat pose. Inhale, release, opening up. Exhale, contracting, tucking in. Inhale, filling up. Exhale, nice strong contraction. You're going to take a few cycles of this on your own breath. Really inhaling nice and big and getting nice strong exhales from the core, expelling all of that air out. Amazing. On the next exhale, we're going to return to neutral spine. We're going to bring the toes together, scoot the knees open a little bit, and send the hips back. Come into a child's pose. The forehead can rest on the mat. This is a nice restful pose here, so at any point during the practice, if something doesn't feel good you need a little breather, whatever, you just want to take a break, you can come down to this pose, focus back in on your breath, pause the video if you want, or you can just let it play, whatever you need. This is your practice. We're gonna inhale, coming back up to tabletop, readjusting those knees. We're gonna tuck the toes under, lift the hips, our first down dog of the day. Maybe you wanna walk out the calves here a little bit. Maybe you wanna get into the shoulder blades, into the hips, whatever feels good to your body, you know what you need. And when you're ready, we're gonna bend the knees, so we're gonna look to the top of the mat, and we're gonna walk the feet to the hands, coming forward into a nice dangling forward fold. And bending the knees, we're gonna slowly roll up. We're gonna go into a sun salutation right now. So we're gonna inhale, lift it up. Exhale, dropping down to that forward fold. Keep a nice little gentle bend in the knees. We're not looking to hyperextend here. We're gonna inhale, hands to thighs, coming into a nice flat back, nice straight line from the hip bones out of the crown of the head. Exhale back into the forward fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step it back to a high plank. You have two options here. The first is to drop the knees, drop the chest, drop the chin, lowering down that way. The second is to stay in a nice strong plank, lowering down in a straight line, the elbows tucking nice and close into the rib cage. Either way, we meet at the mat, flat on our front. We're gonna do a nice little baby cobra here. Nice small lift of the spine. The shoulder blades are dropping back. The palms are still pressed into the earth. And you're looking straight ahead. Exhale, release that down, tuck the toes. Push up through a high plank, lifting the hips, coming back into downward dog. Amazing. We're gonna bend the knees, look to the top of the mat, and walk the feet forward, coming into that little forward fold, maintaining a little bit of a micro bend in the knees. We're gonna inhale, coming into that half forward fold. Exhale, releasing all the way down. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhale, hands to heart. That was our first sun salutation. I'm gonna lead you through two more. Okay, from standing, we're gonna inhale, lift it up. Exhale, roll it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, plant the hands, step it back. And lower down, your choice, knee suggestion or chaturanga. You can either take the baby cobra here, or you can lift up into a full cobra. The elbows stay close to the body. The shoulders are dropping down and back. We're gonna tuck the toes, lift the hips, push it up to downward dog. Bend the knees, look to the front of the mat, and walk the feet up. Forward fold, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, beautiful. One more just like that, inhaling it up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step it back. You know what to do. Lowering down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling, lifting up. Back bend of your choice. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward dog. Beautiful. We're gonna bend the knees. We're gonna look to the top of the mat, and we're gonna walk it up. Back into that forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift it all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Nice strong Tadasana. Beautiful job. We're gonna build off of that flow. We're gonna go into the sun salutation A, where we're gonna introduce our first warrior pose of the practice. Beautiful. Inhale it up. Exhale, roll it down. Halfway lift. Exhale, release, stepping back, high plank. Lowering down your way. Coming into baby cobra or full cobra. Sending it back to downward dog. Here's where things are going to get a little bit different. You're going to sink your energy into that left foot here, trying to get the heel as close as you can to the mat. And you're going to let that right foot slide up off the mat. Maybe it just comes 1 inch off the floor. Maybe you send it a little higher into a 3-legged dog. Either way, we're going to swing it through, placing the foot flat on the mat in between the front hands. Maybe you got to walk it, maybe you got to grab and adjust here. That's beautiful. We're going to rotate that back foot so that the outer edge is dropping down. And we're going to lift it up. So your shoulder blades are facing forward. Your hip bones are as close to the front as they can go. It's not going to be perfectly parallel. Maybe you got to scoot up a little. And we're bending that front knee. You want to make sure that the knee stays behind the ankle though. Take one more big breath here. Inhale, connecting to the breath. Filling yourself up like we did at the beginning of the practice. Big balloon. Exhale, lowering down. We're going to plant the hands outside of the foot and you're going to step back into that high plank. You can either go straight to downward dog or go through another chaturanga here. We will meet in downward dog, where we will take this on the other side, sending our energy into the right leg, into that right heel, allowing that left foot to flow up off the mat, and swinging it through, placing it with care in between the front hands, dropping that back heel down, and lifting up. Connecting to that breath, that is where our strength comes from. Inhale, allow yourself to embrace this pose, sinking a little deeper, breathing a little fuller. And lower it down. We're going to step it back and we're going to drop the knees, bring the toes together, sink the hips back, child's pose. Beautiful job. Allow yourself to rest for a second. Part of strength, part of being a warrior is conserving your energy, not using it all at once. Allowing your body to rest is a good thing. We're going to inhale, come back up to tabletop. When you're ready, tuck the toes, lift the hips up to downward dog. Inhale, look to the top of the mat and walk the feet up into that forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale it all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. We're going to take a little break from the flowing. You can stay right at the top of your mat. I'm going to turn to face you. You can bring your toes together, leaving some space for the heels. Keeping the hands at heart. You're going to bend the knees, sinking the hips back into chair pose. I'm going to show you from the side now. It's going to look like you're just sitting down in a chair. You're pulling up through the core though. You're allowing the shoulder blades to drop back, creating space for your neck. And you are breathing here. Noticing where your points of connection are with the earth, which one is supporting you the most. Seeing if you can shift that weight back a little bit to engage the glutes a little more. Maybe even trying to lift those toes up. That's a good test of where you're at. Maybe not. Maybe you keep them flat on the ground. Your practice. We're going to take a couple more deep breaths here. Really filling that belly up, expanding in all directions. Really exhaling completely, getting all of that air out so that you can cycle in some new energy. If you want to change it up a little bit, you have the option to take a little bit of a twist here. What that looks like is taking that right elbow, attaching it to the outer edge of that left thigh, opening the chest up to the side. Still breathing, still engaging through the glutes, through the core, still sending that energy into the heels, connecting to the earth. Maybe you take 3 breaths here. Beautiful, lifting that up, and maybe taking the twist to the other side, sending the left elbow to the outer edge of the right thigh, opening up, and breathing together 3 big breaths. Sending our strength to one another through our prana. Beautiful. Inhale, sink a little bit lower, 1 more breath. And exhale, stand up, release. Shake it out. That's a tough one. Beautiful work. We're gonna jump back into the flow here. Getting to that warrior 2, a personal favorite of mine. Starting in a nice strong standing position at the top of the mat. Feet are connected with the earth. Hips are over the ankles, shoulders are over the hips. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, melting it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Palms to thighs, flat back, nice straight line of the spine. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, plant the hands. Step it back to high plank, maybe going through chaturanga, maybe going straight to downward dog. Beautiful. We're gonna do like we did before and send that energy into that left foot, allowing the right foot to float off the mat. And sending it through, gently placing that foot at the top of the mat between the hands. We're gonna rotate that back foot, this time allowing our bodies to windmill open so that the outer edge of the left foot is parallel with the short edge of the mat. The front toes are pointing straight out. The arms are coming into a straight line, so your energy is going out from the left fingertips all the way through the shoulder blades, the collarbone, out to the right fingertips. Allowing ourselves to sink a little bit into that front knee. The knee is behind the ankle. The left leg is pulled up and strong. And of course, breathing nice and full. This pose is one of the ones where I most feel that warrior connected to that strength. Let it shine through from that strong sternum here, lifted up, shoulder blades, planting down and back. We're gonna flip, tucking that left arm behind the back, flipping the right palm up to the sky, and lifting up into humble warrior. Looking to the sky, this beautiful pose allows us to acknowledge our place in the universe, in its vastness. Still engaging the core, still breathing nice and deep. And we are going to flip, dropping the front arm onto the thigh, left arm coming up and over into an extended side angle. There is space here for the earlobe. And we're gonna windmill it around, dropping down, framing that front foot with the hands, stepping it back either straight to down dog or through another chaturanga. Your practice, your choice. And we're gonna take that on the other side. So you're gonna send the energy into the right foot. You're gonna allow the left side to lift up and off the mat. Floating through, planting the foot nice and strong. Rotating out, I'm gonna let you guys see it from a different angle here, just checking your own posture. So you are pulled up through the core, you're breathing nice and deep. The shoulder blades are dropped down and back. And again, arms extending both ways. You can look out over that front hand, those fingertips, reminding yourself to be engaged on both sides. We're gonna flip that arm behind just like this, flipping the front hand, looking up to the sky. Humble warrior here, also known as peaceful warrior. I like to think that's because when we do humble ourselves and acknowledge our place in the universe, it sort of promotes that inner peace. Allows us to see that part of the universe in ourselves, in others. Drop that front arm, Right arm goes up and over into that extended side angle. Energy flowing from the outer edge of the right foot all the way out through the right fingertips. And we're gonna windmill around, planting the front hands. And again, either through another chaturanga or straight to downward dog. Maybe you want to take a second here to drop into child's pose. Take a couple deep breaths. Maybe you want to stay in downward dog. Keep the energy up a little higher, totally up to you. When you're ready though, coming back up to downward dog, you're gonna bend the knees. You're gonna look to the top of the mat, walking the feet up. We're gonna inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift it all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. You have a few options here as we go into our warrior 3. You can either place the hands on the hips. You can grab opposite elbows or opposite forearms, or grab the palms, just clasping here. Or you can flip into a little reverse prayer here. Whatever feels the best for you. And we're going to start with the left foot, stepping it back just a little bit, just maybe about a foot. You want it to be a comfortable stance for you. So both the soles of both feet are fully connected, strongly and firmly with the earth. Your hip bones are facing the front, nice and even. You're pulled up through the core, you're dropped down through the pelvis, your shoulders are dropped back and down. You're breathing nice and deep, and you're gonna extend all the way from the sit bones out from the crown of the head, maintaining a nice straight line, extending in a flat back over that front leg. Looking down at that front foot. You might want to stay right here. This is a nice hamstring stretch on that front leg. It stretches into the glutes. A lot of good stuff is happening right here. Maybe you want to bend that front leg, really connecting with the earth, and allow that back leg to flow off, coming into flight, coming into full warrior 3. You're balancing yourself with the weight of the head and the back foot, kind of pulling in opposite directions here, allowing you to even out, allowing you to take flight. You might want to make some adjustments with the hands if you have room and want to bring them out overhead, or if you have even more room and want to bring them out to the sides, that sometimes helps with balance. I like to keep them right behind me. I think that helps me feel rooted wherever you're at. Allowing yourself to touch back down into the earth. Now we're going to step that left foot up, meeting the right into a Tadasana at the top of a mat, standing strongly like a mountain as we embark on that warrior 3 journey on the other side. So we're going to take that right foot, we're going to step it back into a nice comfortable standing pose, taking whatever arm position feels good to you. We're gonna extend, engaging all the way through the spine, pulling up and pulling down, and extending in a flat back over that front leg. Maybe staying right here, maybe bending that front knee and floating up into the full warrior 3. Allow yourself some time to explore here, finding what balance point feels right for you. It takes some exploration, it takes some play, it takes some falling over. So allow yourself the time to figure that out, to explore, to play. Achieving this pose isn't about hitting that balance. It's not about holding it. It's not about catching that flight. It's about exploring your body and seeing what makes you feel strong, connecting with that inner warrior. That's what this practice is all about. And you are killing it. So we're gonna step it back, and we're gonna step that front foot up. Nice, tall mountain pose. And we are actually gonna step it back again, opening up to the side. We're gonna come into Goddess, one of my favorite poses. So your toes are pointing out at about a 45-degree angle, maybe towards the corner of your mat, think. We're gonna lift the arms up overhead, and we're gonna press down, planting the hands into the thighs. Maybe swaying a little from side to side. That's what feels good for my hips. Might not be what feels good for yours. You might want to stay stationary. You might want to drop the right shoulder into a little twist. If you're twisting, you can come up and switch sides. Whatever you're doing, breathing nice and deep. This is a beautiful pose to reconnect with a nice deep, deep breath. Filling yourself up like a balloon, engaging the air 360 degrees around you. Exhaling completely. We're gonna inhale, we're gonna toe heel the feet together, and we're gonna drop down to seated on our mats. We're gonna take one more super strong pose here. It's gonna be a little boat pose. So, this is a balance, this is a core engager. There's gonna be options along the way. Do what feels good for you. You'll know what's right for your body. Maybe this is just staying right here in our little starting point with our soles of our feet pressed flat into the mat. Sat on our sit bones, lifting up to the sternum, tucking under. You're gonna pull up, you're gonna already start to engage the core. This is already so good for you. Maybe you wanna pop the feet off, coming into a little balance here with the knees bent. Maybe you wanna lift the legs up so that the shins are parallel with the earth. Maybe you wanna extend the legs fully. Maybe you wanna let go of the hands, lifting the palms up to the sky, pulling your strength from the earth where you're attached, and from the sky through our palms here. Our sternum is also lifted up to the sky. Our shoulder blades are pulling back down to the earth. We're gonna take 3 breaths wherever you're at. Beautiful, pull it in. We're gonna scoot down, rolling back, hugging the knees into the chest. Giving the body a little hug here. This is a beautiful time to send some love to yourself. Saying thank you for getting yourself to the mat today, for getting this far through the practice. Strength is a tough practice to get through, so give yourself a little love. When we focus on strength, we also want to focus on vulnerability, on gratitude, on sending that inward to ourselves. Those are both equal aspects of being strong, being a warrior. We're gonna plant the soles of the feet flat on the earth, allowing the back to stay engaged. We're gonna plant the palms down as well. And maybe you wanna come into a little bridge pose, peeling the hips off the mat, lifting up through the hip bones, engaging through the glutes, pressing down through the shoulder blades, pressing down through the soles of the feet. Maybe staying right here, maybe tucking the shoulders under, clasping the hands, creating like a little basket with the shoulders to allow yourself to go a little deeper into the stretch. Engaging through the core, and of course, big, big breaths here. One more big breath here, all together. Inhale, filling up completely. Exhale, releasing, unclasping the hands, rolling down one vertebrae at a time, nice and slow, there's no rush. The hips are the last thing to meet the earth, hugging the knees back into the chest. We're gonna take a little rock. One more here, allowing yourself to rock up completely so that you are seated. The feet are on the earth. We're going to extend them out. Maybe scoot it back, readjust yourselves a little. The feet are flexed in front of you. You're making a nice L shape with your body. This is called staff pose. You're just sitting right here, allows you to realign. Gets the digestion on track, gets the blood flow on track. Maybe you want to deepen this into a little bit of a hamstring stretch. Inhaling, engaging that spine like we did in that triangle pose earlier. Exhaling, maybe walking out into a little bit of a forward fold. Still engaged in a straight line from the sit bones out through the crown of the head. Inhaling, feeling that line. Exhaling a little deeper into the fold. I like to feel it like a little bit of a flow here. This breath and movement allows your body to stretch in a way that's a little more natural for you. It allows you to access parts of your muscles without forcing them, just letting them flow naturally how they should. Inhale, lift it all the way up. We're gonna tuck the right leg under, bringing the heel to the left sit bone, crossing the left leg over the top of that right kneecap so that the sole of the feet is flat on the mat. We're gonna hug the left knee with the right arm, planting the left hand flat behind us and looking out over that left shoulder, coming into a little twist here. This is also gonna give you a little bit of a glute stretch, which is beautiful because of that chair pose that we did earlier. We really were engaging. So like I said, the opposite of strength is vulnerability. After really activating those muscles, we wanna give ourselves time to unwind, to stretch it out, to relax. Of course, nice big breaths here. Filling yourself up, breathing into the glutes, breathing into the hips. Everything that we worked so hard today. On the next exhale, untwisting, back to center, unwrap the legs. We're gonna take it to the other side. Left heel comes to the right sit bone, right leg crosses over, sole of the feet, flat on the mat. Left arm comes and hugs the right kneecap. Right hand comes flat on the mat behind you, looking out over that right shoulder blade. Nice deep breaths here, enjoying this little twist. I like to end all of my practices with the twist because it's like wringing out all of the remaining tension, all the remaining stressors in your body, exhaling them out and away from you. You do not need them, especially for this part of your practice. Exhale it back to center. We're gonna scoot back, rolling down onto the mat, allowing the legs to extend out in front of us. The arms can come down by your side, palms down for grounding, palms up to sort of be open to whatever the universe wants to offer you right now. Let the eyes come to a close. We're gonna focus everything inward. Doing a little mental scan, starting down at the toes, at the soles of the feet, working your way upwards, noticing any remaining points of tension, maybe shake it out. Sending the breath there, exhaling it all out. All the way up to the head space and doing a little mental scan. Any points of tension, any stressor, any thoughts, anything jumping into your head that is not serving you at this moment. Acknowledge it, breathe into it, and exhale it out into the universe, sending it on its way. You are not needed right now. You are safe, the mat is supporting you, the universe is taking care of you. focusing in on the rise and fall of the breath. The inhale and the exhale. That's the only thing that needs your attention right now. Ready to exit the pose, you're going to start just introducing a little bit of movement, wiggling the toes and the fingers. Maybe rolling out the ankles or the wrists, maybe rocking the head from side to side. Gently in your own time. Rolling over to the right side of the body, curling up into a little fetal position. And slowly taking your time, working your way back up to seated. Thank you for joining me in this practice today. I hope to get to practice with you again. May you go forward in peace.